This is not only weekly Forex forecast, but also a comprehensive guide on what are the trading opportunity may come in the upcoming week in all those instruments that you can see on the list, including gold, euro, dollar, GBP, USD. Now, past week we have seen that DXY behaved almost exactly the same way we expected. We expected DXY to drop down for a pullback to this liquidity zone to test this smart money area, and we can see that DXY in fact has done the same, has started to move in that direction. Now the trend is currently established uptrend on DXY. So let's see how we will be finding trading opportunity in the upcoming week. Now before I progress further, trader, if you want to take your trading to the next level, to trade with us, learn our strategy, and also access all the trading tools and EA in Forex Trading Wizard Academy, you can find link below this video. We are currently having $200 additional discount on top to join the lifetime access. Link below this video, you can find the link as well as the coupon, which is ending very soon, to access everything that we have in Forex Trading Wizard Academy. So without further delay, let's begin this week's weekly Forex forecast. Okay, data. So let's begin with first of all DXY, as DXY will give us a clearer direction of most of the USD pairs as well as gold. So starting with DXY, first of all, looking at the higher time frame, looking at the monthly chart to see overall direction in the market. Now from the monthly, we can see that DXY, as expected, after breaking the previous monthly low, the market grabbed that liquidity and then has got a bounce towards the upside. Now this is the monthly candle. So far we have seen significant bullish move, expecting DXY to come down for a deeper pullback and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. If we look at the weekly chart, we can see that as expected past week, DXY has formed a huge bullish pin bar, which in fact has grabbed that massive amount of liquidity after breaking this low. And then we have seen this week the market has formed another bullish candle. Now this bullish candle also potentially further upside possible. As we can see in this candle, there is a long wick at the top, and we might see that after initial pullback the market is going up to fill that long wick. As the price moves from liquidity to liquidity, we can see that the previous week the market has broken this low, grabbed that liquidity, expecting it to go back to another liquidity zone. What I think that we might see DXY ultimately breaking this resistance to create a new higher high, or we could see a retest of this trend line from the weekly perspective. If we draw that, we can see which is aligning with the previous liquidity zone. Now dropping down to the daily to see further price action confirmation, we can see that from the daily, this daily candle has grabbed that also massive amount of liquidity, testing this smart money area, which is the previous resistance, turning support here. And with that smart money zone, as you can see, this daily candle has a huge ATR in it, which is basically a very important resistance, turning support. And we can see previous day a bullish candle followed by last day of trading week a candle that has a long wick at the top, which is we could see ultimately going up to fill that long wick. Dropping down to further lower time frame, we can see that potential bullish price action on DXY. What we can see here, this is a massive liquidity trigger. If you closely look at it, we can see there is a one liquidity candle formation and followed by another liquidity candle formation on the 4-hour time frame. Back to back, two important liquidity candle formation followed by another liquidity candle formation. So we can see that quite a few liquidity candle formation has given DXY a high probability for another potential bounce. And what I think that this week we might see that the price is coming back to this liquidity zone also, which is a very important liquidity zone, expecting for the price to drop down grab that massive amount of liquidity and then to bounce back towards the upside. And this could be the wave on DXY. And as soon as you will find suitable entry on other instrument based on the DXY wave, we will be looking for entry opportunity. Now, based on this pattern, let's look at now euro dollar to see how the market might be doing. Now, looking at the euro dollar, looking at the monthly chart to see overall direction in the market. Now, from the monthly, we can see that euro dollar so far has formed bearish candle. The price has broken this monthly high, and then we can see that the price has broken below to create a new lower low. Now, if we closely look at from the monthly, we can see the price is still bearish, and I think that we might see initial pullback towards the upside and then to drop back down to create new lower low. Now, if we look at the weekly chart, what we can see that there is a gap opening here, and with that gap opening, the price has formed so far significant bearish price action, expecting for euro dollar to test this resistance that we already have seen that. And from that zone, from the weekly, we saw a long bearish candle, expecting for the price to go up for a pullback and then to drop down to create a new lower low. Now, dropping down to the daily time frame on euro dollar, what we can see that there is a double top formation, and with the double top formation, there is a massive drop, pullback. Now, this pullback, a retest of this liquidity zone, which is the support turning resistance, and we can see that from that level, there is a huge rejection towards the downside, followed by last day of trading week, we can see there is a bearish candle formation here. And I think that with the market open, if we look at further lower time frame on euro dollar, expecting it to go up to retest and then to drop down to create a new lower low. Now, this is the level that we will be looking for potential entry opportunity on euro dollar, and what I think that we might see a retest of this important liquidity zone and then to drop down to create a new lower low. So let's look at now on GBP USD. Like the euro dollar, we can see that GBP USD also has formed another bearish price action. Looking at the monthly chart to see overall direction in the market on GBP USD, we can see that the market so far, after breaking this monthly high, has got a strong rejection towards the downside, and what we could see for the downside on GBP USD to create new lower low. Now, looking at the weekly chart, what we can see that from the weekly, the price action is potentially still bearish. We have seen back-to-back two long week dojis here, and both of them has grabbed that massive amount of liquidity. And last week, we have seen the price has broken that high, grabbed the liquidity, and has formed a bearish pin bar, which is expecting for GBP USD to remain further downside. And as this is a high liquidity zone on GBP USD, what we can expect for the price to go ahead, grab the liquidity, and then to drop down to create a new lower low. Now, looking at the daily chart, what we can see that from the daily perspective on GBP USD, for the price to go ahead, retest of this important support turning resistance, and then to drop down to create new lower low. Now, looking at further lower time frame, we can see that on GBP USD, this is the trending market, which is forming series of lower high and lower low with a liquidity candle formation here, and we have seen a break below last day of trading week, expecting for the price to go ahead, retest, and then to drop down to create new lower low. This is where I will be waiting for a potential retest and then rejection on GBP USD. Now, let's look at dollar CAD to see how the market might be doing on dollar CAD. As we can see from the monthly perspective on dollar CAD, as expected in our past week's weekly forex forecast, dollar CAD has had a bounce towards the upside, and we saw that last day of trading week there was a pullback. This monthly candle is still bullish, and we might see after a pullback for the price to go ahead and fill that long wick at the top. Now, looking at the weekly chart, what we can see that from the weekly, this is the weekly bullish engulfer followed by weekly doji, which is a narrower candle that might create a new pattern here, and what we can expect on dollar CAD for the price to come down to fill that week or even breaking this low and then to bounce back up to create new higher high. Now looking at the daily chart on dollar CAD, what we can see that from the daily, this is also potentially a bearish price action at the moment, but at the same time the trend is bullish. We can see that it's a bullish trend, and last day of trading week this doji is in fact a very important liquidity candle. There was a break and grab the liquidity from a doji. And dollar CAD, what we can expect for this price to retest and then to drop down to this support level. Now looking at further lower time frame on dollar CAD, we can see that there was a rejection, but at the same time this is a bullish trend. And what we can expect on dollar CAD for the price to test and then to bounce back up. So this is where we will be waiting on dollar CAD for the price to break below, test this support, and then to remain bullish. So anytime dollar CAD breaking below with the market open, we can look for potential bullish trading opportunity after a break of support for this potential move towards the upside on dollar CAD. Now let's look at gold. Let's see what kind of opportunity we have on gold, starting with the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market on gold. We can see that from the monthly, this is the monthly impulse on gold. Starting from here, there was a strong bullish impulse. We have seen back-to-back 4 months of bullish move with a long week, back-to-back 2 long week monthly candle on on gold. And this month so far, in the first 2 weeks, we have seen there was almost equal volatility on both sides, and the market is almost at the monthly resistance level. Though it is a long-term bull market, I think that we might see gold after a retest, we might see further downside. But at the same time, as it is a long-term bull market, we have seen a bounce from this monthly support, and we might see now gold is going to go ahead retest before dropping back down to the support level again. Now if we look at the weekly chart, what we can see that from the weekly, this market, there was a long bearish engulfer followed by a doji, followed by we can see another liquidity candle formation, which is in fact a long bearish engulfer. Now this week, what we have seen that the market initially has got a bounce, expecting gold to go ahead again to retest either 50% of this long week or the high of this long week before breaking below this level. So this is where if we look at the daily chart to see how the market might be doing, here on daily we can see that this is the daily liquidity candle formation, and here is this is the NFP candle. If you look at, guys, we can see that there was a huge bearish engulfer with the NFP release that has almost more than 3 ATR candle, which is currently we have seen that the whole week there was a pullback. And I think that as this candle has a huge liquidity above this level, we might see the price will try to revert back before dropping down, as high liquidities always act as a magnet for the price. Now looking at further lower time frame, we can see that from the lower time frame, here is we can see a bullish channel on gold. So if we draw this channel, we can see a pattern here, and we can see that from that channel the market broke into the upside, grabbed the liquidity, and we have seen break below from the channel again, and in both sides they grab liquidity. So when we see a channel bullish or bearish, the market grab liquidity from both sides and has gone back to the channel, which is a sign that we might see continuation of this channel further. And as the market open, what I think that we might see initial pullback to retest this support, and then gold to bounce and then to move in that channel until it reach that liquidity zone, and from that level we can expect gold to drop and to create new lower low. So this is where we will be waiting for potential entry opportunity. And what I think that with the market open is still we might see that bullish pattern. If we look at the day trading perspective on the 15-minute chart, which is mostly we trade on gold in that time frame, you can see that the market is still bullish and the trend is still maintaining that bullish market structure, expecting for the price to break below, grab that massive amount of liquidity, and then to bounce back up. So this is where my eye will be in the market open for gold to drop down, break the support level, grab the liquidity, and then to move back towards the upside to create a new higher high. So now let's look at dollar yen and GBP JPY. Now looking at GBP JPY, what we can see that from the monthly GJ, what we can see from the monthly perspective, it is a long-term bull market. In the first 2 weeks of the month, we can see that initial bounce, and then the price again has come down for a pullback. But if we compare the bull candle with the bear candle so far, we can see that the bears are much weaker than the bull, which is because it's a long-term bull market, expecting it to bounce back towards the upside. Now, if we look at the weekly chart, what we can see that the pattern and the trend is still bullish. What we can see on GJ, this is an impulse followed by deeper correction. If we take our Fibonacci from low to the high, what we can see, the price has reached that 38.2% Fibonacci level, and from that Fibonacci level, GJ has got a bounce towards the upside. And we can see that this doji from the weekly time frame is, we could see the price to break below and then to bounce back up. This is what we could see potentially, as it is in an uptrending market structure. Now looking at daily chart on GJ, this is the daily price action. There is a doji here, and back to back 2 days long week candle formation, and we can see the price is broken below, grab that liquidity and form a long week candle. And I think that in the upcoming week on GJ, the price might break below again and then could continue to rise to the upside to create a new higher high. So GJ expecting for the price to drop back below and then to bounce back up. So this is where this could be the wave on GBP JPY in the upcoming week. We might see even in a sideways market possible on GJ, as we can see if you look at the weekly again. This is the resistance zone. We might see initial bounce, break below, and then continuation towards the upside. So this could be the wave on GJ. As soon as we will find suitable entry from those levels, as well as during the trading week, we will be looking for entry based on price action confirmation. Now let's look at dollar yen. Let's see what kind of price action we have. Looking at the monthly chart, we can see that from the monthly, dollar yen also long-term bull market. What we can see that from here, this is an impulse followed by a correction from the monthly, previous months a long week candle. Now this month we can see that dollar yen has formed a higher low, and we can expect for the price to go ahead and to create a new higher high. Now looking at the weekly chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly candle on dollar yen has broken this low. And then we can see there is a long week candle, expecting dollar yen to break below and then to continue to the upside to create a new higher high. Now looking at the daily chart on dollar yen, what we can see that from the daily perspective, this is the daily consolidation pattern, a reversal pattern, breakout. And again, we can see the market has broken below, grab that liquidity, form a long week candle. And what we can expect on dollar yen for the price to break below and then to go ahead, fill that long week at the top. Now looking at for the lower time frame on dollar yen, we can see that from the lower time frame perspective, this is the impulse followed by narrow correction. We have seen another impulse followed by a correction, expecting dollar yen for the price to break below, especially below this level. There is a high liquidity, and then to bounce back up as soon as we will find suitable entry on dollar yen from this important level of support. So as soon as we find suitable price action confirmation on dollar yen, we will be looking for going long with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at US30 and Nasdaq. Now if we look at Nasdaq, from the monthly, we can see that it's a long-term bullish market. There is a massive bullish rejection on Nasdaq, and with this bullish rejection, expecting for the price to move up, as it is a very strongly bull market. Now if we look at the monthly pullback here, we saw there is a narrow pullback and the market has managed to bounce. So this might be another new impulse. We might see further rejection to the upside, as just recently it has completed a deeper pullback. Now if you look at the weekly chart on Nasdaq, what we can see that from the weekly, this is a weekly bullish impulse followed by a correction, and expecting for the price to move back up to create new higher high. Now if we look at the daily chart to see a bit more clearer picture, we can see that from the daily there is an inverted head and shoulder formation breakout, and last day of trading week after this doji, a bullish candle. Now this support is quite significant. What we might see, as there will be new weekly opening for the price to come down for a deeper pullback and then to continue to rise to create a new higher high. So this is where we might see that on US30 for the price to break below and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. So any drop or grab liquidity from significant level, we will be looking for going long on Nasdaq with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at US30, looking at the monthly chart to see overall direction in the market. Now from the monthly, we can see that US30 also long-term bullish market. Previous months we have seen a healthy body with a long wick at the top. Now what we can expect on the monthly on US30 for the price to move back up to fill that long wick at the top. Now if we look at the weekly chart, what we can see that from the weekly there is a doji, and with this doji it's a big impulse followed by a correction, expecting for the price to move back up to create a new higher high on the weekly perspective. Now if we look at the daily chart on US30, we can see that from the daily, this is where there was a big impulse to the support level, and we can see the market basically forming narrower candles, quite a few dojis formation, expecting for US30 to break below and then to bounce back up to create new higher high. Now looking at further lower time frame on US30, what we can see that from the bigger picture perspective, it is a kind of bull flag which trying to break out, and I think that US30 we might see that the price is coming down, testing that support, and then to move back to the upside to create a higher high. So this is where we will be looking for trading opportunity. As soon as we will find suitable entry on US30, we will be looking for going long with a high probability trade setup. Traders, I believe that you enjoyed this weekly Forex forecast. If you have enjoyed, make sure that you give a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. And also, if you want to be part of the Forex Trading Wizard Academy and also learn and grow as a trader with me, trade with me, learn the strategy, as well as access all the trading tools as well as EA, then you can find link below this video. There is a discount going on. You can take that $200 additional coupon to join, to be part of the trading community. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in my next analysis.